Hello and welcome to New Frontiers on CCTV International. I'm Ji Xiaojun in Beijing. And today we're continuing our series, Chinese Civilization, in which we are tracing the evolution of Chinese civilization through an investigation of archaeological discoveries, historical sites, and cultural relics. In today's program, we are back in the Sui and Tang dynasties again. This was a 300-year period from the 7th to the 9th centuries, when China emerged on the world stage as a brilliant and confident country. Historical records show that the Tang Dynasty maintained contacts with more than 300 countries and states across the known world. A key role in its commercial contacts was played by the Silk Road.
During the Sui and Tang dynasties, China went through a particularly dynamic period of development. As the country was being integrated, there were all kinds of innovations, while different schools of thought were improved upon and their teachings disseminated. There was unity among the nation's various ethnic groups, there was great stability throughout the country, and there was peace between China and foreign countries. Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism all coexisted peacefully, academic activities flourished, and literature and the arts in general developed more than ever before. It was a time of self-confidence in China, a time of inclusion and innovation. All in all, it was a brilliant era in the history of Chinese civilization. In the 2nd century BC, during the time of the Han Dynasty, Zhang Qian, an imperial envoy sent to the outside world, visited the western regions. And afterwards, the Han Dynasty integrated the transportation routes in the western regions and connected them with routes that led to Persia and Rome. It was this that resulted in the formation of the famous Silk Road. After the Silk Road was opened, the civilizations of ancient Egypt, of the valleys of the Euphrates and Tigris rivers, of India, and of course China from the Han Dynasty through to the Tang Dynasty were linked by trade. As a result, during the Tang Dynasty, the Silk Road led to the dynamic development of cultural exchanges between China and foreign countries.
它也是当地这个沿线各族各族啊互相了解的一个友谊之路，是吧？ 另外也是当时的文化交流和科技交流之路。另外就是说，当时就是这个唐朝与这个西域各国关系非常密切，使节来往不断，所以有人又把它称为使节之路。
According to Tang records, the Tang dynasty maintained contacts with more than 300 countries and regions across the known world, some of them regions bordering China. During the Tang dynasty, people from China's neighbors such as Japan, Korea, India, and countries in Central Asia as well as Iran gathered in China, and the dynasty was also open to other civilizations from Asia and Europe.
在唐朝中央，有很多外国人在这里做官。 日本人、韩国人，还有中亚的，现在属于中亚的那些五国的那地方人都唐朝做官，从文官到武官都有，都是是一种非常博大的襟怀。对外来文化也是这样，唐朝有很多呢外国的那些寺院，就是适合外国人的，比如说中亚的祆教啊、摩尼教啊、景教啊等等，包括伊斯兰教，他们都可以在中国建寺院，保持他们的信仰。
The Tang dynasty respected all foreign religions, and it was in fact during this dynasty that Christianity was introduced into China. This tablet on the development of Nestorianism in China is about how this religion of the Eastern Roman Empire developed during the Tang Dynasty. Islam was introduced to the central plains of the Tang Dynasty by envoys of the Arabian Empire during the reign of Emperor Gaozong. It was first introduced to the cities of Quanzhou and Guangzhou and other coastal areas in the south by Arab business people. In China in this era, all religions coexisted peacefully, a truly rare occurrence in the world history of that time or any other. During the Tang Dynasty, China embraced the world. Its international trade far exceeded what it had been during the Han Dynasty. Its cultural exchanges with neighboring countries and other countries expanded, and it was extremely open to foreign culture. While carrying on China's fine ancient traditions, the Tang Dynasty absorbed many aspects of foreign culture, and it was an era in which Chinese were enthusiastic and self-confident.
当时的长安城的人口能达到100万，当时的外国人来到长安的就能达到10万人。像现在朝鲜半岛当时的新罗和现在在日本的，当时都多次派遣唐使到唐朝来学习先进的文化，而且把这种先进的文化带回日本，促进了当时日本的社会发展。
The imperial family of the Tang Dynasty had been a military family in northwest China for generations. After bringing the Central Plains under its control, the family hoped to promote culture there and serve as a cultural and ethical model. The imperial family regarded Lao Tzu, whose surname was Li as was theirs, as their forebear and made his religion, Taoism, the national religion. Lao Tzu advocated harmony between people and nature, and this was in accord with the policies of the first rulers of the Tang Dynasty. It is also reflected in their willingness to promote harmony, flexibility, and rule by virtue. As a result, Taoism, which served as the foundation of traditional Chinese culture, was quickly disseminated. Wu Zetian, who was accepting of all religions, put an end to the emphasis placed on Taoism by the first rulers of the Tang Dynasty, and this greatly benefited Buddhism. As a result of her policy, Buddhism developed quickly during the Tang Dynasty. Famen Temple in Fufeng County, Shanxi Province, witnessed the unprecedented development of Buddhism in the Tang Dynasty. In 1987, archaeologists reopened the underground palace of Famen Temple after it had been sealed for more than 1,000 years. When they excavated a set of nesting pagodas, they found that the small innermost pagoda was made of solid gold. When the archaeologists opened the pagoda, they were surprised to find within a finger bone of Shakyamuni, the founder of Buddhism. Famen Temple was built during the period of the Eastern Han Dynasty, at which time it was known as Yuan Temple. The temple is 1,700 years old, older than any other temple in the central Shanxi plain. Also excavated from the underground palace of Famen Temple was this 13-piece tea set used by Tang Emperor Shizong. This noble imperial tea set suggests that drinking tea was regarded as a great luxury. China is, of course, the home of tea, but although tea was being produced well before the Tang Dynasty, drinking tea didn't become common until during that dynasty. The book The Tea Ceremony was written by Lu Yu in the 8th century during the reign of Tang Emperor Dezong, and it is still widely read today. From it, we can see that the quality of life enjoyed by Chinese people improved considerably during the Tang Dynasty.
China is, of course, known as the home of tea, but it wasn't until the Tang Dynasty that tea drinking became established social practice. At your average Tang Dynasty market, pancakes, noodles, and other tasty food items were on sale. Popular pastimes included polo, which had been introduced from Persia and was played by both men and women.
It is hard to believe that pancakes such as these were commonly eaten during the Tang Dynasty more than 1,000 years ago. These pancakes, made by people of northern tribes and known as Nang, were sold throughout the city of Chang'an during the Tang Dynasty, and even today, people living in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region still call them by the same name. During the Han Dynasty, wheat was not regarded as fine food, but during the Tang Dynasty, wheat grinding techniques were introduced to China from Central Asia, and with this, the Chinese invented noodles.
当时长安有东西两个市，这两个市场的卖着世界各地的东西，所以我们经常在唐人小说里看见，在长安的市场上啊，能发现这个宝啊，那个奇异的东西啊，这都是当时的写照。
At Chang'an's east and west markets, in open areas in the city and in designated theatres, Chinese and foreign artists presented operas and other types of entertainment. Many people from the western regions made their way to the territory of the Tang. Members of royal families of countries in the western regions, large numbers of envoys, and business people of northern tribes brought foreign culture into the Tang Dynasty, promoting the development of the dynasty's culture and art. Fashionable women liked to show off their unique clothing and hairstyles. A popular pastime for both men and women was polo, which had been introduced from Persia.